Hello everybody, CJ and I hope everybody's doing well, hope you're safe, hope your health is good. This is this week's lesson and it's called Lead the Way. In the book on page 89, this is what we're going to be working with today. So CJ, you're going to zoom in on this. Did you zoom in, baby? Okay. All right, now you can always put your computer on pause and come back to this and check it out. Or grab your book, page 89, okay? Now, the idea of each one of these little patterns, there's a bracket that shows you what I call the cage system, and that is E minor regular pattern in the first few frets, and we'll be working with that mostly today. But for those of you that want to expand or been playing for a while and know a little bit about lead guitar, you can work with the other patterns that I have here. The second pattern up, Roman numeral 2, is called the box pattern. Roman numeral 3, I call the weird pattern because of the distance between the notes here on the guitar. The fourth pattern is I call the cross chord pattern. It comes from the cross chord, E minor, in this case today. Then the next pattern up is a down pattern, which comes from down from being up an octave from where we started. Then it's the regular pattern again, way up on the 12th fret, where you use all those notes and you go clear to the 15th fret, 15, 12, 15, 12. You can look at that in the book. But what you're going to do is play a progression, and then in between the chord changes, fill in the lead. Now, if you have a way that you can record this progression and play back to it, then that would be good for you to try to do too. If you don't, though, the last part of this lesson today, the progression that I have will play in the background, and I'll play a few licks for you. So I'll show you some licks that you can mess around with. And don't forget, you can always put your computer on pause and go back a little bit and check it out again. Go back a little bit, check it out again. If there's something that I play that you want to learn how to do, kind of sing it to yourself and then go back and find it on the guitar. Okay. Check your tuning if you would. Here's the low E string. That's E, low E. Here's the 5th string, A. Here's the 4th string, D. Here's the 3rd string, G. Here's the 2nd string, B. And the 1st string, E. Okay. Now, once that you tune your guitar like that, you should go back and check with your tuner again on the low notes. Sometimes when you change one string on your guitar, it'll change the tension on the neck, and the other string will have to be retuned. And I'm going to show you today also a little tuning technique that you can use for fine tuning. On the E string, if you go to the 5th fret, this dot right here, and go to the metal that's up towards the body of the guitar, the upper fret, and you put your finger on it and just touch it, and then you play the string. While you're touching it here, it'll play a harmonic like this. Okay. Now you can check your tuner with that note, and it should be an E, straight up and down. Then you go to the 5th string, 7th fret, right over the metal, and I use my 3rd finger, and I play that note. And it sounds the same as this note when they're in tune. Now, if this string was a little bit out of tune, you'd hear it. You can hear it wah, 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 wah. And then while it's ringing, I can actually feel the guitar. I can go up here and take this note and tune it till that stops, and that string will be in tune. Here it is. There. Okay, same thing with the next 2 strings. So I'm going 5th string, 4th string. Then I'm going fourth string, third string. Okay, now to check the second string, what you do is you go to the bass string, 7th fret, and you play that harmonic right there, and then the second string open. And to check the first string, you play the 5th string, 7th fret, and the first string. So I'm going to run through it real quick so you can hear it. My guitar's in tune now, and here's how we start. We play this note, and then check this string, 5th string, 6th string, 5th string, then 5th string, 4th string, then the 4th string, 3rd string, and I go to the bass string, 7th fret, play this note, and the 2nd string, and then 5th string, 7th fret, that's harmonic, and the 1st string. That's fine tuning your guitar. Then I check the chord, E minor in this case, A minor, B7, and E minor. Those are the chords that you're going to need today. Okay, on the internet, we will post this sheet. Here's the 3 chords that we're going to use today. And these notes, the black dots and the open strings, are the notes that we're going to be using to make up little licks or riffs to play in between the chords. Starting with the chords though, what you want to do is get used to playing the progression all the way through. Now, when you play it all the way through, you can strum all the time if you want to, or you can do it like we're going to be playing the background music, and that is to play only the first beat of each chord. So on E minor, you'd play E minor, then count E minor, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Next chord, boom, one time, then 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Next chord, boom. Now, I'm going to play it for you so you can hear what it sounds like. Here we go. E minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, A minor. Now. 2, 3, 4. Back to E minor. Now. 2, 3, 4. I get ready for B7, and here we go. 2, 3, 4. Back to E minor now. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. A minor now. 2, 3, 4. Back to E minor now. Then B7 here. 2, E minor here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Starting over right there. Okay, that's what the progression is going to sound like. Now, in between those, when we're counting the 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's where you're going to get creative with your lead pattern. And we're going to start with a regular pentatonic lead pattern. This is called the regular lead pattern, and you can, on the first string, play 3 open. Now this open string is an E. Remember, you want to stick around this name of the note that's in the chord. When we're playing E minor, that'd be a good note to play. Stick around there. You can't go wrong with that because it fits E minor. Okay, 3 open. Next string, second string, 3 open. Next string, 2nd fret open. So I'm on the 3rd string now, 2 open. Same thing on the 4th string. Same thing on the 5th string. Then the bass string, 6th string, 3 open. Okay, so that pattern sounds like this. Starting on the 1st string, 3 open. 2nd string, Now, I'm going to show you how to use those notes. When I'm playing E minor, these notes right there are in that lead pattern. And you can't go wrong if you stick around those notes. Here's what I mean. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next chord, A minor. E minor. B7. There's a note that's in the lead pattern. E minor. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. A minor. E minor. B7. E minor. And starts over again. Okay. Put a little drum beat in the background, and you'll have a cool little progression sound going. If you don't have a drum machine, that's okay. I'm going to play it for you here today at the end of this lesson, and you'll have something to play through all the way to jam with. Okay, on the counts 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. What you got to do is use your mind, create a little bit of a lick. Now, if you have trouble making up something to play, just use the notes that are out of the chord and play a 4-note lick. Okay, like Yankee Doodle, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, I don't know, that's not sound like Yankee Doodle, but here's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yankee Doodle, here and there. Now, if I go change notes on every Yankee Doodle, it'll sound like this. Now that's a lick. Pick and that's a lick in itself. Okay, so I can go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Next chord. E minor. B7. E minor. A minor. E minor. B7. A minor. And it starts over again. 2, 3, 4, and so on, okay? All right, now what you're doing when you're playing this, those are the notes you can use. Now don't dismiss the notes that you're not using, because there's nothing wrong. You can't go wrong in this. Any note will fit, even if it sounds weird. Like here's E minor, and you play and it doesn't quite fit. Maybe I'll stay away from that note because it just doesn't sound good with that. But later, maybe I can find a place where it will fit. So don't dismiss these other little notes. You can always take a note that's not in the lead pattern, like, and bend it into the note that's in the pattern. That's a lick. Now, let's put a little background music with it. This fits when you're working with this at home. Without any background music, you can think of a bouncy beat or a straight beat. Today we're using a straight beat. We're going 1, 2, 3, 4. Bouncy beat would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and pop, 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 pop. And this is a straight beat today. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now the drum beat that we're going to have going here in just a minute, you'll hear it has a pattern to it. So you can tell where the 4 beat count ends and starts again. But making up a little phrase in your head using the notes from the lead pattern. You can sing it. Da, 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 and then find it on the guitar. Da, 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 da. That's not it. There it is. Okay. Now, just with a regular lead pattern in the background, here we go with here's what it's going to sound like. 2, 3, 4. A minor. Stick around the A. E minor. B. There's a note for B7. 5-3. Third string, 3-2, 4-2. Fourth string, 5-2. Next string, 5-2. Bass string, 5-3 open. All the way pattern. Next pattern up. 7-5. 8-5. 7-4. 7-5. Okay, we're going to stop here for just a second. All right. Going up the neck now, there's licks that you can do in each of these patterns that you can't do anywhere else. So once you get these shapes down, what you want to do is find where this sound is in other places on the guitar, like this. I'm on the second string. This note sounds just like this note. And play it someplace else. Each one of those places, there's an E minor chord that those notes are coming from. Here's the first E minor, these three notes. The next E minor up the neck is a D minor shape, moved up like this. D, D sharp, E minor. And that's the box pattern. Next pattern up is the weird pattern. It goes 7-5, 8-5, 7-4, 7-5, 7-5, 7-5, 3 open. Now here's the E minor chord here. This is, I'm on the 4th string, 5th fret with my first finger, and the 5th string, 7th fret with my 3rd finger, and you strum the whole guitar. It's E minor. That's where this pattern comes from. Next chord up for the cross chord pattern is E minor cross chord, which is A minor moved up the neck like this. The little chord is like this. And that's where this lead pattern comes from. Up the neck for E minor is on the 12th fret. This is where the down pattern starts. It goes 12-10, 12-10, 12-9, 12-9, 12-10, 12-10, 12. All from this little chord. Now if I put my first finger there, I'm starting over again now, just like I was down here, going from the 3rd fret open. So 3 frets above this, open to my, is 15-12, 15-12, 14-12, 14-12, 14-12, 15-12. All of those notes. Now, if you went back to the first string and you played every place that you just started on the first string, it would sound like this. Here's the 12th fret. Here's the next note that I used on the first string. Here's the next note I used on the first string. The next note, next note, next note. You hear that sound though? It's, which is the pentatonic scale. It's the same with the second string too. If I found an E and I used the notes that I could use on that, now, the more you stay with the key of E minor and you learn to play all these places, you're going to realize that, oh, if I want to play in a different key, then I take the same patterns and just shift them to wherever the chord is. And that's using the same lick somewhere else on the neck. Like if I go, then I go. And then you'll start to see some of these chords, some of these notes overlap too when you do that. Pretty soon you're going to be able to use all the notes on every fret, and you can make them fit anything. You just have to look forward to where the progression is going and take that note that you're playing and find it on the guitar, you know. How do you know what these notes are? Well, you got to study the fretboard a little bit, but if you know the names of the notes on the 6th string, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A, all the way up till it starts over again. And the same thing on the 5th string, A sharp, B, C, all the way up. If you know the names of the notes on these 2 strings, you know the names of the notes on these other strings too, by looking at it in octaves this way. So this is a G note, for example. Here's G. Skip a string, up 2 frets, this note on the 4th string, skip the 5th string, I'm playing 6th string, 4th string, those are both G's. So I'm looking at this note G, and I know that note's a G. If I think about that kind of forked fingering right there, all right, if I know that too, then if I know the name of the note on the 5th string, that's a C, and the note right across from that skip a string, up 2 frets, that's also a C. So I've got those notes like that. Okay, now let's go back to the low note, G, G. Now from here, skip a string and go up 3 frets. So now I'm on the 4th string and the 2nd string. These are both G's. I know that's a G now. And a minute ago, right across from that was a C note. And if I go right across from it, now I've got C's. Oh, by the way, I just learned all of the notes on this, all the string. G, G, C, C, G, G, C, C. Okay, learn them in octaves that way. You may want to just say, okay, well, I know that this note right here, right above that marker on the 2nd string on the 10th fret, that's an A. Maybe you want to remember that. Okay? You can jump to that note in this song when we go to A minor. If you know where all the E's are, you can jump to any E's, and that'll take you up to another pattern on the neck. Now, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to play through each one of these patterns as we go through this progression. For those of you that are just getting started, just use the regular pentatonic lead pattern, 3 open, 3 open, 2 open, 2 open, 2 open, 3 open, and just stick with that for today. Then tomorrow, try the next pattern up. The next day, try the next pattern up, and then start trying to hook them together. That's what I'm going to be doing when I'm playing here. If you see me go from here clear up to here, it's just because I know that there's another lead pattern up here that I can use. It's in the book on page 89. Here we go. Jam a little bit. You do it. All right, everybody. Listen, just jam out with this week. Have fun playing around with it. You be safe. Keep your social distancing, and CJ and I will see you next week. Don't turn it off yet. Let the whole thing go all the way through.